Very good morning, children. This is your Vanaja teacher, and I welcome you all for the next session of your lesson Acids and Bases. Before entering into today's topic, let us once recapitulate the last content. We have learned about acids and bases, how they change the color of blue litmus and red litmus. For this, we have done an experiment by using different types of substances, and from that we have divided them into acids, bases and neutral substances. And we also have learned what are indicators, what are the properties of acids and bases. All this we have seen in the last class, and I welcome for the today's content. Today we will learn about the bases, what its nature will be, and few facts regarding the acids and bases which will be going on in your daily life. The substances which are soapy to touch and bitter to taste are called bases. Children, every day we take the bath. At that time, if you touch the soap, how do you feel it? Generally we will feel it as slippery. Because it will come out of your hands once it is so wet. And in the same way, soapy to touch. Somewhere if it falls down and if you keep the leg on it, it will be very soapy to touch. Like this. And even it is bitter in taste. I don't mean to taste the soap, but in generally the bases will be bitter in taste. And I give you some examples of basic substances like the slow soaps, glass cleaners, etc. And how to test the basic substances. If you take a litmus paper, it will change the red litmus to blue. In the previous class, I have told you how to remember about the change of litmus papers regarding the acids and bases. Here is a slide showing for you. Acids will change blue litmus to red, A, B, R. And in the same way, bases will change red litmus to blue, B, R, B. This is very, very important for you children, because this is a primary content which you will be learning here, and it is very important for your 10th class also. These are the basic concepts. That is the thing which I have told you while I have started the lesson. And this is the way how they change the colors of litmus papers. And I will give you some examples of substances which are having basic in nature. Here are few examples. In your textbook, I have given you a tabular form. For examples, I have given lime water. It will be having a base called calcium hydroxide. Glass cleaners, it will be having a base called ammonium hydroxide. And the soaps, which we will be using either sodium or potassium hydroxides, you will be having. Because two types of soaps will be there, no? Bathing soaps and the soaps which will be used for the washing of the clothes. That's why either sodium or potassium hydroxides they will be having. And in the same way, the fourth example is milk of magnesium. It will be having magnesium hydroxide. These are all the bases which are present in the substances which you will be using in your daily life. This milk of magnesium, it will be present in the syrups, children. And those who will be suffering with the constipation, for them the doctors will be recommending the syrups where milk of magnesium will be present. It is a base. Let us move for the next slide. Did you see, children, when the magician or the jugglers cut a lemon, the blood flows out of it. And generally when these things are happening in front of our eyes, we will wonder how he will be doing, and we will be clapping for them also. But these are all the things which will be happening by using this acids and bases. Actually what will happen is, he will dip the knife, whatever he is using to cut the lemon, in either methyl orange solution or hibiscus solutions. Hibiscus means the flowers which will be available for us. For this hibiscus petals you take and rub the knife on the petals of the hibiscus and cut the lemon, you can see the color as red, not like such that the blood flows from it. Okay, and how this happens we will learn today. Already I have informed you children, some types of indicators will be there, like litmus papers. Natural indicators will be there, like turmeric. Hibiscus is also a natural indicator. Cabbage, purple color cabbage is also a natural indicator. And in the same way, some artificial indicators which are made by us will be present in our laboratories. Those are phenolphthalein indicator and methyl orange indicator. These are the two indicators, and with these indicators also we will do the experiment. In generally, methyl orange indicator will change a red color when it comes into contact with an acid. That means if you take a methyl orange indicator and further if you add an acid, it will give red color and it will give yellow color with the base. Here is a slide showing for you. And phenolphthalein indicator, it remains colorless in acids and it turns pink in basic solutions. How to remember this methyl orange indicator and phenolphthalein indicators? Generally, by doing the experiments you can come to know children. And the most important thing here is this methyl orange indicator will be in light orange color, like that dark orange color. If it comes, you will feel it as red. That means always remember, methyl orange indicator will be in orange color, very nearer to red. When this methyl orange indicator is coming into contact with the acids, it will give red color, and otherwise if it is bases, it will give yellow color. And in the same way, phenolphthalein indicator, it is colorless already, and it will be the colorless only in the acids. It don't change the color. As it is colorless, it will be same colorless in the acids also, but in the bases it will turn to pink. It will be very easy for you to remember methyl orange. It will be in orange color. It will give red color with the acids and yellow color with the bases. And in the same way, phenolphthalein, this is one more indicator. This is a colorless solution and it will be in colorless with the acidic solutions and it will turn to pink with the basic solutions. These two are very, very important children. Compulsory 2 marks questions you will be getting in your common board examination also. Let us go for the next slide. Here is an experiment for you children in your textbook. He is asking us to take a test tube. This is a test tube he have taken first. And in the test tube, he is taking some zinc, magnesium, iron, brass. These are all the metals children. Any metal he is taking there. And for that metal, some metal you must take into the test tube. And for this metal, add some acid. In the labs, if you take hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, nitric acid, different types of acids will be present. And here lemon juice, if you don't find all those acids, a natural acid lemon juice will be there. Different types. This is an copper solution. Copper sulfate will be blue in color. This is not the copper. 2 different test tubes he have taken children. In the test tube, metals he will be taking. Any copper, zinc, magnesium, iron, brass, aluminum, all these are the metals. Those test tubes you can take, those substances you can take, and for them if you add an acid, then it will release a gas. It will release a gas. And how to test the gas? Here, when the metals come into contact with the acids, they will release the hydrogen gas. And this have been given first by an Italian scientist called Henry Cavendish. And he also told it's a colorless gas. And what is the test for it? Do you know children? And how to test the gas is, if you insert a splint near the test tube, it will give a pop sound. That means here in this, here see, test tubes I have taken, 6 test tubes I have taken. And in that only 2 picture I have given for you. In the two different metals I have taken, and for these acid I have combined. Then what I have to do is, here we have to close it with the thumb finger. Once after combining the acid to the metal, any one of this. And if you bring a splint, that means a burning stick. Splint means a burning stick near to this. Once the reaction goes on with the metal and an acid, it will release the hydrogen gas. You can't see the release of hydrogen gas. Why? Because it's a colorless gas. At that time, the test is, if you insert the splint, that means this burning test tube there, then it will burn with the pop sound. A very pop like that sound you will be getting back. And if you get that sound, the gas is hydrogen. If you don't get that sound and simply the splint or the fire or matchstick which you have taken glows more continuously, the meaning is it is oxygen. Like this, different tests are there. In the next class, I will tell you how to test a carbon dioxide. Okay. Now, did you learn, children, how to test the hydrogen? If you insert a splint, near the splint in the sense a burning, either a matchstick or something else. If you take it near the test tube, it will burn with a pop sound. Then the gas is hydrogen. That is the way how to test the hydrogen gas. And this is some facts I have told you today. We will learn some few facts regarding the acids and bases. Pickles, jams and jellies. You will be very interested in eating all these types, isn't it or not? Jams and jellies you will be applying on the breads, and you will be taking them as a breakfast sometime or like a snacks, isn't it or not, children? And these, they will not be preserved in any brass or copper coated vessels. Here, brass or copper, these are all the metals, children. You don't find these vessels. Why? Because this pickles, jams and jellies will be having the acidic nature. And this acid, when it reacts with the metal, I have told, no hydrogen gas it will release. And it will form a bluish green compound on the surface of the substances. So, we must not preserve the pickles, or in this either of these three, in a copper coated vessels or metal containers. Simply you can describe it as, you can't store the pickles or jams or jellies in a metal containers. Why? Because these metals will combine with the acids which are present in these pickles, and it will form a bluish green compound. Sometimes these also you will be finding in your homes, children. If it have been left for some time and it have been kept in some metal and it have been left for some time, once you open the bottle of a pickle or something else, you will be getting some suffocating smell with a bluish green compound as a layer on the pickles. That's why we should not use them. And if you observe, today you ask your mother where she is preserving the pickle. Surely they will be in a glass containers or porcelain or a plastic containers. Rather than this, they don't preserve them in the metal containers. Okay, this is one of the fact which will be going on in your daily life. Thank you, children. Hope you have enjoyed the class. And here is a slide giving you the assignment of it. See the assignment and complete it. Thank you.